go further, but I will not entertain a pity party. We're not going to do a woe is me. Unwillingness to let go. Some people, they seem to enjoy the chaos. Many times, and I've run across this sometimes, people in the midst of their chaos, because they're getting immediate help for right now, that's enough to them. So they don't really want to get a solution that helps to alleviate that chaos. So they're not really letting it go. They continue to hold on to it because it gives them power. So we want them to let go of that, because as long as you're holding on to it, then God really can't work. You know, he's probably sitting there going, you know, if she was ever just let that go, I got something for her. But you know, she keeps holding on to it. And I think about with my son, I think when he was 14 years old, and my child, I tell him all the time, you know, you really made me start getting gray really early. That wasn't anything that this child had not done. And I'll never forget the time I was working and I got a call. Well, actually, he was younger than that then. I think it's about 11 or 12. I got a phone call on my job. I was working at Mrs. Winters on Moreland Avenue. And he called, Mama, what you want for dinner? See, I had taught my boys how to cook years ago, so they knew how to cook. I said, I don't know, sweetie. Well, how about some pork chops and some macaroni and cheese and some sweet pea? Oh, baby, that sounds real nice. Okay, I wasn't thinking. I just went on back to work. About 20 minutes later, I got another phone call. At the time it was Miss Gates. Miss Gates, we have your son, my son. You have my son where? Well, he's up here at the grocery store. Why he's at the grocery store? He's gone shopping. He done picked out everything that he's going to get so he can prepare dinner, but he didn't have one penny. He done had it in the buggy. He went down, and how he did this with cashiers on the line, I don't know. But he took the buggy, went through there, put it in the little bags, and he was getting ready to go out there till the security guard got him. Okay. Now, I'm at work. I have no transportation. I can't go anywhere. I called Oscar at the time. He was not my husband at the time. We'd been dating for a while, and he went and picked him up, and he called me and says, well, I'm going to take him. I'm calling our friend on the police force because I want to teach him a lesson. Teach him a lesson? Teach him a lesson how? So he's going to take him down to the juvenile and just put him in the cell, you know, kind of let him know what that kind of activity can lead into. And I'll never forget, he said, he walked in, all bad and bold, just smiling. God said, well, you know, I'm really not supposed to do this, but I understand what you're trying to do. So he took him around the corner and took him in this little cell all by himself and closed the door. He didn't lock it, but, you know, he didn't know. He heard a little clink. So he's standing outside talking. It took about 45 minutes. All of a sudden, you heard him crying. God calling for Mama. So then they go in there and have a talk with him. That lesson lasted maybe 6 months. Then he tried something else. But in the midst, I kept saying, God, please take care of this child, please. But in the midst, I'd still be trying to figure out what can I do to get him to understand things. So it's like I'm giving him to God, you know, like I'm handing it to you. But at the same time, I'm still holding on. So I'm not really letting go so that God can do his work. And that's sometimes what we can do in the midst of our chaos. We keep holding on to it thinking we know better than God how to fix it. If we just let go, then some things can open. And then there's other times that our chaos lasts longer because we're afraid to ask for help. And that's real important, especially if you're dealing with a person who's been a victim of domestic violence. The last thing they want to do is ask for help sometimes. First of all, they're already ashamed, and they're afraid how you're going to judge. So those are some of the reasons why I say you have to make sure you are truly ready to be a willing participant in helping that person get from where they are to where they need to be, because they already have so much that's sitting on them. So that not asking for help, that makes your chaos last longer. And then, of course, it's fear. We're always afraid of the unknown, but fear hinders. Fear doesn't allow you to really work positively. Fear taps down any ideas that could come along that could really help move another level. You want to have those positive things in your life. So I started thinking, pregnancy and life. Think about pregnancy and your life experiences, how things happen in your life. They kind of correlate. Think about it. First, God thought about you. That was the first thing. He thought about you. Second, there was a come together of two people to make one, to make you. So that's part of life. Then you got those trimesters. Think about those trimesters. Y'all know about it. That first trimester, what you got? Morning sickness, you got joy, panic, wonder, and amazement. Your life, the first part of your life, the first head of your life, has all of those elements. There is joy. There is panic sometimes. Think about when you were younger, when you were smaller. If something scared you, you ought to holler for mama, you holler for daddy. That's something that always happens. Sometimes things, when you first see something, like you're like a little kid in a candy store, you have that joy and wonderment. That's all part of that life cycle. And as we are going through different stages, that's just like that pregnancy. Then we hit second trimester. Second trimester, that's like the middle half of your life. And I call that, for me, between the ages of 12 and 22. For me, that was my middle half of my life. You know, during that time, you have to start making decisions about yourself, about your life. Your parents have taught you, or your guardian, whoever that adult is in your life, has already made influences on your life. So from them, you begin to make choices about yourself. You make decisions, people you're going to hang with, or how you want to carry yourself, or people you want to interact with, how you make choices to whether you're going to eat right, whether you're going to exercise. So you're going to have people that are going to influence you to do bad things, or you're going to have people in your life that's going to influence you to go on the right track. All that during that age of 12 to 22, it was up and down, up and down. And if you look at your life, it did the same thing. But then when you get to that third trimester, I call that your good learning phase, in your good learning phase, you've experienced some things between 13 and 22, but then when you get past that age, you start beginning to make some correlations between my choices, my beliefs, my ideas, the people in my circle. You're beginning to make some more definitive decisions about your life, because that third trimester is really getting you ready for a purpose. Because believe it or not, we're all here for a purpose. Some of us learn our purpose early. Some of us learn our purpose late. But there's always a purpose. But then there's also that thing called choice. We have a little choice of whether we're going to follow what that purpose is. And the decision we make about that choice determines how we live in that time of our life. So with the third trimester, think about it. All of our folks that have had kids, you know that the body begins to expand to accommodate that growing baby inside. So that means that during that third trimester of your life, you are expanding. Your mind is expanding. Your experiences are expanding. And that's all being fed into you, giving you information that is allowing you to begin to make even more decisions about your life. And then, you get a little closer to your purpose, just like with that third trimester, when it's getting close to that time to have that baby, you start experiencing backache and other late pregnancy pain. Like, I'll never forget, I got so big I couldn't see my feet. I couldn't look down at them. I couldn't put shoes on. And I think around that time, I really couldn't understand my husband, because he put me in that position. And now think about the fact where it took two. And so, I got to own up to my part in that situation. But then, as that baby prepares to be born, your body's going through all these different changes. But it's all because once the baby is here, many times your mind forget about all that pain. All you think about that jewel, that joy of having that child purpose God has for us. Peaks, we can handle. Think about it. Got a good job, have a great relationship, how to have a good church life, have a nice circle of friends that you really can depend on, and you're doing things in the community. Oh, that's great. But it's those valleys. Boy, it's the valley that gives us trouble. But guess what? It's from the valleys that we derive our greatest strength and get our greatest blessings. So when you think about some of your peaks and valleys, think about one of your greatest peaks. And when you think about that greatest peak, do you remember what the valley was that